What is going on, comic book people? I'm Dope, and this is Dope Comics on my YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk my favorite thing, which is horror. We're going to talk a horror anthology series that I really love. It's called Twisted Tales. Twisted Tales came out in 1982 of November and ran through 1984. It's 10 issues. It was bi-monthly. It's an anthology. The writer for all of it, 99% of it, was Bruce Jones, which you might know him from Warren Publishing. He did Creepy. He did Eerie. He was really inspired by EC Horror, and he wanted to take EC Horror to another level, and he added a lot of graphic violence and nudity, and put on the covers for mature readers. So if you have never seen any of the Twisted Tale issues, they're cheap and you should pick them up. They came out in the early 80s. They're not worth a lot of money, but there's a lot of dialogue to them. There's a lot of reading, but it goes by quick because the stories are written so well. Bruce Jones knows how to write stories. And usually every issue has about 4 different stories in it. So they're short, but they're heavy in dialogue to be so short. I would say one of their stories inside one of those issues, probably like a modern day read. It's pretty heavy dialogue for such a short story, but it's awesome stuff. What else can I tell you about it? Let's just get on looking at them. And Richard Corbin is one of the artists, and Bernie Wrightson. I love Richard Corbin. I love Bernie Wrightson. They're 2 of my favorite artists, and both of them did interior work, and both of them did some covers. Well, I say covers. Bernie Wrightson only did 1 cover, but they're great books, and very cheap and awesome to read. And I know last year, or 2 years ago, whenever COVID hit real bad and everybody got sent home and the world shut down and there was no more Diamond distributing books, we had to go back and read back issues. And the first thing I went for was my Twisted Tales. I've read them I don't know how many times, and I just keep reading them. They're one of my favorite reads for sure. So let's get to it. First book. This is a Richard Corbin cover. His artwork, I can spot it, from a mile. His artwork is kind of weird. They always say like a good artist, you can tell his artwork from other people's. They have their own thing, and it's hard to stick out when you're an artist, but Richard Corbin seems to do that. This was the first ever issue I ever bought. I still have it. And I got me another one because I pick them up whenever I see them for cheap. Bernie Wrightson, legendary artist, mainly known for Swamp Thing. And besides Swamp Thing, people love, all this DC 70s horror stuff he did. He likes to draw werewolves and stuff like that, and I love all that. But my favorite 2 covers of all time, I'm going to save one of them because it's going to be in another issue. My second favorite cover of all time is this right here. It's Twisted Tales 2. If you look close, he has made a rope belt, and he's got heads all around his waist, going through ears, through nostrils. Chasing 2 more kids, and they're going to get it. And this is issue 2. Also in this is my favorite Twisted Tales story. It's called Over His Head, and it's written by Bruce Jones, and it is done by Richard Corbin. So if you want to see a good book, issue 2 is really good. If you ever find this one, if you want a good one to start at, this is the best one. And then over here, you can see the PC logo. This is only on the first 8 because the last 2 were put out by Eclipse because PC, which stands for Pacific Comics, they went broke. They went bankrupt on issue 8. The other 2 issues were already done. So Eclipse Comics got with Bruce Jones, and they finished up the series. And after that, they did a 4-issue series called Twisted Tales of Bruce Jones. And they did 2 years later, they did a 3D book. And it had a reprints, stories from the original 8 from Pacific Comics. And they also did a trade with all 10 issues in it. So if you can find any of them, check them out. This is issue 3. It's got a dinosaur on it, and a cop. And looks like a zoo scene or something because there's bars back here. I don't really remember this story. It's not one of the best ones. Issue 3 wasn't that good. I don't remember really reading a lot in this one. But there's certain issues I just keep going back and reading over and over and over. But this is issue 3. There's a lot of blood down here in the head. Dinosaur just took somebody out, and he's about to eat old Barney Fife here. So this is issue 3. I like it. Here's issue 4. Floating body in a cave, and there's some woman scared to death. I don't know why she's down there just dressed up, walking through a cave. But we got a dead dude floating in the water down here. This is issue 4. If I saw this on the shelf in 1982, I would have been 5. I would have definitely tried to pick it up as a kindergartner and read it. And my mom would probably bought it for me. She wasn't really a good mom. All right, next. This is issue 5. Issue 5. This is the one that did them in. This was the beginning of the end. There's a story in here called Banjo Lessons. It is a homophobic story. It is a racist story. And the editor of this book knew they were going to get a backlash about it. And he took out a whole page and wrote a story about, hey, I let my creators create, and they believe in no censorship. And they let him put it in here. And let his creators create. And the public backlashed. They didn't like the story, but it's called Banjo Lessons. It's very controversial. If you ever want to read it, issue number 5. Some of them you can read online, and I believe Banjo Lessons, you can't even find online. So it's another cool reason to get that one. Here is issue 6. The woman that is melting looks like bubblegum. She probably smells like Hubba Bubba. I don't know what happened to her. Probably a pretty hot summer day here. So I don't know if he's freaking out or if he's happy and excited about what he sees, but this is Twisted Tales number 6. Still got the PC logo up here. Now I need number 7. Number 7 is Nice Old Granny. It kind of looks like William Shatner. She chopped off his head. Here's a skull back here. It's a cool book. This is number 7. You can still see the PC code. Great book. This is the worst cover of the bunch. This is number 8. It looks like something off of Little Shop of Horrors coming out of the sewer. Not much thought went into this cover. I'm sure the stories would be worth the buy. Can't go with the cover on this one because the cover ain't worth crap. This is cover number 8, and it is pretty good. Number 9. Did you notice this is the first one that don't have the PC here for Pacific Comics? This one here was finished by Eclipse Comics. He's getting his axe awful sharp. He's going to be doing some chopping and mopping right here. There's already some kind of face floating around over in the sink. So it's a pretty cool book. And we got the last one, issue 10. Issue 10. This one's got a story in it called If She Dies. This was turned into an episode of the 80's Twilight Zone. So if you can get on Netflix and watch If She Dies, the original story is in this book. It's a great story, great read. I love everything about this. Other things I can tell you, in 2005, Todd McFarlane was set to produce a half-hour anthology TV show for Fox that was called Twisted Tales, and it was based on these comic books. And he bought the rights. He purchased the rights for this. But then Bruce Jones said that Twisted Tales didn't belong to Todd, and he had creator rights to it. So they both were fighting over creator rights because I think what Todd McFarlane bought was the bankrupt PC, Pacific Comics part, but Bruce Jones went on to carry on with Twisted Tales of Bruce Jones, and he was the original writer, so he thought he owned the rights too. So, you know, Todd McFarlane never really pursued it. So that's that. If you like that kind of stuff and you want to read stuff, I've read all kinds of horror anthologies. And the best horror anthologies that's made today, there's 2 that I really love, and I get it every month. And these books I read multiple times a month. 2 good titles. Bonus books. Bonus books. Here they are. The first one, Hotel. If you ever go pick up Hotel, you can pick up any issue and start reading from that issue. Hotel is an awesome book. Hotel is basically like the Twilight Zone. You follow the manager of a hotel around, and every issue there's some kind of horror going on in a different room. So today you'd pop up and the manager behind the desk is like, let me tell you a story about room 104. And there's somebody in there getting chopped up in the bathtub, or there's somebody sleeping with somebody's old lady and somebody else breaks in it. It's just all kinds of crap going on. So pick up any issue of Hotel. Great, great stuff. Love Hotel. It's one of my favorite reads every month. New modern book, Hotel. Another book I read every month that is amazing. Yeah, it's super amazing. Silver Coin. Silver Coin is an anthology series. Every issue is different. You can pick up any of them and start reading it. The only thing that ties all these together is a cursed silver coin. So one issue, a dude might be at a casino, cursed because he won this coin out of a machine, and he's cursed ever since then. Another one might be where somebody robs somebody. I know there's one where some teenagers rob a house and they get the coin, and they're down on the luck after that. But everybody gets this coin ends up dying. And the coin keeps on getting circulated all through time. So if you ever want to read a good book, Silver Coin. This is issue 8 they're on, but you can pick up any of them and start reading from that point on. Silver Coin. And look at that cover. That's the best cover for 2022 as of now. It's going to be hard to beat that cover. Love Silver Coin. So that is it for today. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, keep on watching, because I'm going to keep on making this crap. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.